getting justice for Kate Steinle, the five-time deported illegal immigrant cleared in her 2015 murder, but he's now facing new federal charges.
They include being an illegally present alien and felon in possession of a firearm and ammunition. If found guilty, he faces up to 10 years in jail.
GOP Texas Congressman Senator Ted Cruz is knee-deep in this. And, Senator, you were outraged by that verdict, and you're taking action. Where do you think we're heading with this?
Well, the verdict we saw, it makes you angry, it makes you frustrated. Kate Steinle, a beautiful young woman, shot down in the prime of her life, died in her father's arms. And millions of Americans, we were horrified to see that because her crime, it was entirely preventable. I'm very glad the Department of Justice is moving forward with federal charges. The facts seem clear that this illegal alien who'd been deported 5 times, who'd been in and out of jail repeatedly, that on its face, it seems clear the federal charges for being a felon in possession of a firearm and an illegal alien in possession of a firearm are both charges that the facts sure look like they were met. And I'm glad the Department of Justice is proceeding. Even more broadly, I hope that seeing this verdict serves as an impetus to Congress to pass Kate's Law. I introduced Kate's Law. Kate's Law says there's a mandatory minimum sentence for any illegal alien who illegally re-enters this country after being an aggravated felon. That would have resulted in this shooter being locked up in jail and Kate Steinle still being alive. We ought to act to make sure to protect others from becoming tragic victims of homicide like this.
You're not only a senator, you're also a lawyer. So what does this mean to the American people that don't understand how the process works, how the court systems work? What does it mean for the federal grand jury to do something like this and to get involved? Well,
you have, for many crimes, you have state crimes and federal crimes, and they're different charging jurisdictions. Different prosecutors make the decision whether to proceed. And so the state brought a murder case, and the jury acquitted the defendant of murder, concluded that they believed what the defense had to say. What has happened now is the federal government, the Department of Justice, is bringing different charges. Being a felon in possession of a firearm is a totally different crime than murder. Being an illegal alien in possession of a firearm is a totally different crime than murder, but both of those can result in him being incarcerated for 10 years in federal prison.
Yeah. Senator, on another topic, the Senate passed tax reform. It's now headed to conference. One of the aspects of that you're particularly passionate about, and folks may not know that a lot about, is an expansion of the 529 Education Savings Amendment. Tell us about this.
Well, last week was a big week. The Senate got her act together, passed major historic tax reform. And one of the most consequential pieces about it was an amendment that I introduced that we voted on late Friday night, past midnight. And what it does is it takes 529 college savings plans, which many people have. They let you save in a tax-advantaged way for college expenses. They're immensely popular. Parents, grandparents can save so that kids can go to college. My amendment expands 529, so now you can not only save to go to college, you can also spend from your 529 plan on K through 12 education expenses for public schools, for private schools, for religious schools, for homeschooling, up to $10,000 a year. You can save in a tax advantage plan and spend $10,000 per child. You're in charge of your kids' education. It is the most far-reaching federal school choice legislation ever passed, and it passed after midnight on Friday, 50-50, the Senate evenly divided, and the vice president came down to the Capitol and cast the tie-breaking vote. It's in the tax bill right now.
Wow. So, yeah, we'll look for that. A lot of people have 529 thinking college. Maybe now you could do it for private school. We'll see what happens after the conference. Thanks, Senator Ted Cruz.
Thank you so much, Senator. That would be great news. That helps so many people out.
Hopefully it survives conference. I mean, that's the key thing.
Absolutely.